you have to prepare the child for the road. You
Yes.
can't prepare the road for the child.
Yes.
Don't try to do
Oh,
that.
that's
And I
beautiful.
see
Beautifully
parents
said.
doing that all the time. And
Yes.
I
Prepare the
often
child for
feel
the
like
road.
reaching out to them, like, so that they will pick up fights with the teachers or the principals. Why
Yes.
has my child not got this opportunity?
Yes.
Then and I have always been, and my kids initially used to say that, mama, so and so's mother goes and speaks to the teachers, and the teacher has done this for her and all. Why don't you speak? And I always tell them, you have to fight your own battles. I am there right behind you. We are there as parents right behind you. No matter what you do, I will be there.
Hi, we are the Confident Communicator, and I am Seema Mehta, along with my partner Deepma Jadeja. Welcome to Imperfect Parenting.
Yes, parents, I feel, are not just the first entry of stakeholders into a child's life, but perhaps the most influential stakeholders. And I say that not just with experience, but also while we have interacted with so many thousands of students across the country. What is the role of a parent as a stakeholder? What is at stake here for a parent? The most important thing at stake here is how well is the child going to grow up? How well is the child going to get adjusted in the society? How well is the child going to achieve their own potential, whatever potential the child has? So these are all things that are at stake. To Seema's question that, what are the other kind of stakeholders that impact a child? Of course, right next to the parents, it would be the school community, that really shape the child for the future. The way the teachers speak to the children, the way the school reacts to the kind of upbringing that they want to provide to the child. Even the gate man, when the child enters the school, if the gate man is a grumpy old man, that's another story. Whereas if you have someone nice and warm, aa jao beta, that's another story. So these small things also have an impact. Or even the didi who sits in the class, in the younger classes, if they are kind, you have children actually reaching out to them, even for going to the washroom or drinking water, they're easily approachable. So yeah, I mean, right after the parents, it would be the school community that would shape the child. And I would say that, the parents and the schools together have done maybe 90% of the job of shaping the personality of the child.
Yeah.
Because beyond that, it is more experiential. What do you mean by holistic development?
Yeah, please define that for us, Shatarupa.
Yeah. There is no one definition, if I may say. I'm not sure if there is, but in our opinion, it would be the best to which a child can achieve. I would not put a benchmark for every child, because the bar is going to be different for everyone.
Correct.
It is up to the child's potential. It is up to the child's ability to change or to adjust to the surroundings. And all of us have different strengths and weaknesses. I was a parent who went after, I went and spoke to the class teacher out of turn, not at a PTM, out of turn. And I said, my son refuses to do the homework, and he doesn't want to sit and study. He just wants to enjoy and, watch TV or go out to play and stuff like that. And this is the sentence that I'm using now, that let the child grow at his own pace, is something the teacher told me. So the teacher came back to me and said, ma'am, don't worry about it. This is a school which will nurture the potential of the child and let the child grow at his own pace. Having said that, as a parent, I also realized that you cannot completely let go. Let the child grow at their own pace. That also does not work. One has to step in, but one is
there has to be a balance.
Keeping that in mind. At the back of my mind, it's always there that, every child will grow differently. Every child. And then I got into multiple intelligences that are there, and as I went deeper into the education field, I realized that, there are so many things that as a parent we should keep in mind. Be positive is something, I have been guilty as well of always pointing out of what will happen if you don't do this.
Yes. Yes.
Rather than telling them what will happen if you do this.
Yes.
Why don't you do this and then see. If you study, you might be in a position to help the domestic help.
Yes.
You might be able to help the person live a better life. Maybe her daughters will go to school. She has not gone to school, but you might be in a position to ensure that the maid's daughters go to school.
Yeah. So what you're saying that don't guilt the child.
Don't guilt the child. It doesn't work.
It's making them feel.
Well,
I know my own daughter has said that to me, Kate. You always make me feel very guilty. Yeah. And I think when she said that to me, I felt like, oh my God, I don't realize as a parent I'm doing that.
Do it intentionally.
But if we reprogram the way we speak to our children, that will absolutely change the way they perceive success and failure.
Yes, I'm talking from experience. The moment I started saying, if you study, then these positives will happen. Okay. You can change my daughter is extremely unhappy with the climate change that is happening, and so I said, you will be in a position to change that, or you will be in a position to ensure the maid's daughters go to school and get a good education there. Wow. Or even, a little bit about how the maid manages her money. Right now it's like it's a hand to mouth existence, but how does she do a little bit more of, financial management? Maybe you'll be able to teach her, but you need to know it first. Sense of purpose and something positive, a positive a positive return. Yes. You always talk about what will happen negatively, but what is the positive return to your own self? If you do this, what's your return on investment kind of thing, Correct. So that is something that has worked. So when we talk about holistic development, I think, again, intuitively, we talk primarily of those skills apart from the hardcore skills like, teaching, learning, or speaking in English, or digital literacy, or, those are the hard skills, right? Skills, or even mechanical engineering and stuff like that, So when we talk about holistic development, we talk of an all-round development for the child. Yes. As all-round development, it means how are we going to, if I have to oversimplify it for that matter, how are we going to ensure that the child is well adjusted in the society? If I have to oversimplify it, because if you see around us, there is a lot of maladjustment that is there. And I know these are people, we always criticize people, but I always talk to, when I talk about them and I hear the complaints coming in, I always tell them that they are also representing the same society that you are. In school, I was a naturally curious child, which I am sure every child is. And, if I would ask questions which were beyond the syllabus, I would be asked to shut up. The teacher would be this is something, you just keep quiet. You always ask questions out of the syllabus. Let us focus, finish the course. Now, what happened over years?
Disruptive. You're considered disruptive if you ask questions, because we have the culture of the guru shishya, right?
Correct. But what happened over the years psychologically is that I stopped asking questions, not just in school. I stopped questioning everything outside also. And you start becoming an introvert, and you start taking and keeping things within you. And as I started growing up, and fortunately, I studied psychology thereafter and went on to join the education field, and a lot of clarity has come in thereafter. But when I look back into my schooling years, I can see the source. Yes. I can see the source from where the initial maladjustments would have started.
Yes.
Bullying is again a maladjusted behavior. Yeah. Even being bullied is also maladjusted behavior.
Yes, both sides.
Being bullied and the bullying the child, both are maladjusted behavior. not having any kind of control over the emotions. Suddenly one child becomes extremely aggressive, some child becomes absolutely quiet, somebody starts crying at the drop of a hat. These are all maladjusted behavior. Absolutely. They are the softer ones in the spectrum. There are the deeper ones as well, which are like children get into juvenile criminal activities, or I did a small research in one of the detention homes here earlier, many years ago, and there was a child whose father was a rich businessman, but he had, he would steal bikes and sell them to earn that extra money to tom-tom amongst his friends that, I get so much money at home, but he was not getting the money from home.
Yeah.
And I met the child in jail. And this was a child who was speaking in English. This was a child who was going to a good school. That's the other end of the spectrum.
That's the other
adjusted behavior. The teacher is able to identify them and is not stigmatizing it.
Yes.
Don't make it into a stigma. It's not the child's fault.
Yes.
You need to sit with the child and talk to the child. So if the teacher is able to do that, what kind of an impact will it have on the society? So just imagine that, As a parent, the one thing that has been constant in all my, the way of parenting that I have been adopting, and it has kept changing over the years as the child grows, you have to change.
Yeah, it has to, you have to tweak it, yes.
The one thing that has been common is you have to prepare the child for the role. You can't prepare the road for the child.
Yes.
Don't try to do that. I see parents doing that all the time. And I feel like reaching out to them, like, so that they will pick up fights with the teachers or the principals. Why has my child not got this opportunity? Yes. Then and I have always been, and my kids initially used to say that, Mama, so and so's mother goes and speaks to the teachers, and the teacher has done this for her and all. Why don't you speak? And I always tell them, you have to fight your own battles. I am there right behind you. We are there as parents right behind you. No matter what you do, I will be there. Okay, I will support you, but you need to fight your own battles.
This is your battle. Yeah.
I would say the right up there, the second thing would be patience. Okay, the second point would be patience. Be patient. We are so patient with everything that is happening around the world. We are so impatient with our own children. That's so unfair, right? I'm so patient with anything. Look at the healthcare system, or even the
garbage on the road.
Yeah, or the climate. We are not doing anything about it.
Correct. But we have such high expectations from our own children, and that we don't. Yeah, absolutely.
And we're very impatient with them. If I look back now, the one thing that I would really like to work on would be patience. Sometimes you don't need to react. It's okay.
Yes.
As a parent, you do, and as a teacher as well. As a teacher also, when we have our sessions with our teachers from days, we tell them the same thing. Sometimes, and kids are extremely. I don't know. I don't know what is the exact word for that, but they repair themselves. So fast.
They're very resilient.
Yeah, I don't know whether they introspect or anything, but the repairing mechanism is very cute and very fast in them.
Yes.
In fact, they'll have a fight and immediately they'll just half an hour later they're again playing together.
I remember when we were growing up.
In between to resolve the fight, that the fight becomes more serious.
A lot of things you can handle in your life later on if you have been taught that at a very young age, that you go and figure it out yourself. The second thing you said about patience is very, very important, because I remember, when your child is not doing that great and there's a tendency to compare with somebody else, the best thing is to say, what, I think you really did your best and I'm very proud of you. That's it. You don't need to say, but look at how this person did.
Or don't react.
Don't react.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you cannot use the positive words, then it's
don't say anything at all.
Yeah. This is also something I picked up in one of the child's PTMs. Yes. And there was a negative feedback from the teacher, some not even negative, some feedback had come, and I was just entering the class, I was outside, and the mother was slapping the kid ये सुनने को मिलता है मुझे टीचर से। इतनी मेहनत करते हैं हम लोग और इतनी मुश्किल से वो हिंदी मूवी डायलॉग्स कि इतना पैसे कमा रहे हैं और इतने बड़े स्कूल में पढ़ा रहे हैं और ये कर रहे हो, वो
और ये तुम कर रहे हो,
और ये तुम कर रहे हो, ये सुनने को मिलता है। The kid was not even bothered, the kid was not crying or anything, वो चुपचाप सुन लिया, थोड़ी देर बाद खेलने चला गया होगा शायद। So I picked it up from there that and as a principal, every PTM that I've attended, I take 3 days. I do not speak about any points that the teacher tells me for 3 days to my kids.
Right.
I take those 3 days as a time to prepare.
Oh, that's interesting.
And process it in my mind on what would be the best way of presenting it to my child without making my child feel that I'm less. It's not going to change much. It's not going to make a world of difference there.
Yes.
Because this is the feedback over a month. Or maybe 2 months that in the school it used to happen monthly. In many cases it's 2 months, 3 months.
Correct.
It's a feedback over so many days. If I take 2 or 3 days to just chew over it or mull over it, prepare myself. I have a lot to thank Google for because I've done a lot of Googling, on how to handle sensitive questions and how to give the right answers to the kids. Because the one thing I was very clear in my mind was also I am not going to stop my kids from questioning. Correct. Because of my own experiences, you can question anything. You can.
Because that's the only.
If you're patient and if you're patient and if you're positive, healthy discussions will happen. Children are naturally boisterous. Naturally, they'll come to you with questions. And the report card in my children's school used to have 2 parts to it. One part was the soft skills, and the second part would be the academics. The academics would be the right hand side, and the left hand side they had all those communication, leadership, environment, and fulana damka. There was a whole column to it. So for both my kids till class 12th, I've been telling them, if you take care of the left hand side, the right hand side will take care of itself.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, the left hand side used to be all the skills.
Thank you for saying that.
For those that were important in my perspective, in the life that I have seen, and I've worked with so many people outside, with teachers, students, school community. Those are the things which will help you succeed later after school.
Right.
Academics is not about rote learning. Academics is about your thirst for learning.
Yes.
Correct. The more you are thirsty to learn, the better marks you will get. Don't have any doubts in that.
And you will be thirsty to learn if you have confidence, right? Your soft skills.
Confidence, exactly.
All your soft skills. Anytime you get involved in the soft skills arena, you will start becoming confident about yourself and risks that you take, the failures that you experience, the challenges that you meet. And that automatically converts into good marks. That's absolutely on the dot.
You are not learning if you're not having fun,
Correct.
If you remember, like I remember the hare and the tortoise story, Deepma, Seema, both of us, how many of us will remember whatever law it was, say the Newton's first law verbatim, we don't remember. Or if you, of course, Pythagoras theorem, but if you ask me to define, use the exact words, I'll not remember because I did not have fun learning them.
Yes.
But when the hare and tortoise story was told to us, it was fun.
Yes.
So I remember it. So Seema, you talked about the top 3 things that we can tell, on what can help us bridge the communication gap between parents and children,
Yes.
The third thing that I would talk about is perseverance. Don't give up.
Don't give
up. As a parent, you're not allowed to give up. If it doesn't, and don't even be, disappointed that something is not working. Correct. My kids always tell me, why are you doing this? This becomes extremely nagging, and I hear my parents in my own head as well. Though when I was a child, I didn't like the way.
Didn't like it. Yeah.
But you just imbibe, it's internalized so badly that you end up saying similar things to the child. And I always tell them, look, as a parent, my job is to annoy you. Okay.
I'm going to use that line. I'm going to use that line with my.
So whether you like it or not, I'm going to annoy you.
Yeah.
So what I want to say here is that, of course, the annoying is not to ensure that my child becomes miserable. The annoying part is more to kind of continuously be at it.
Yes.
Just persevere, just stay there, hang in there. Do not make the child also feel that you're giving up on them.
Yeah.
You have to just continue. You have to hit the nail continuously on the head till it rightly fits in. So it's a similar thing with any kind of, and you have a goal as a parent, you have to have a goal. So I want my child, I have used a inverted pyramid kind of a approach in my parenting, where, I had the 10 things that I wanted my child to have as an adult. So I don't start with a broad based. I started very simple, one step at a time. But if I, compassionate, I wanted my kids to be compassionate human beings. I wanted my kids to be, gender sensitive and believe in gender equality, to be kind to nature, to the animals, and all that is around us. And of course, be happy. And have a song on your lips and have a song in your heart and a smile on your lips.
On your lips,
that's about it. That was my, on top. And how do I reach there is then the funnel.
Correct.
Then how do you kind of keep that goal in mind and be at it? So perseverance, patience, perseverance. These are things I think as parents and teachers we really need to keep in mind. We cannot brand kids as nahi ye nahi kar sakta, ye nahi ho sakta, isme ye hai, isme wo hai, aisa nahi. Doesn't work like that. The potential is more or less there in all of us. It just needs to be identified and then it needs to be supported.
Set those basic goals for your children. What do you expect them to be? And I see that the goals are not necessarily, I want you to be an engineer.
No, that's not a goal.
It's not what you want to be.
Absolutely. That's not even a goal, actually.
It's not even a goal.
Yeah, it's the road. You can be an engineer, it's the road. You can be an engineer, you can be a teacher, you can be a doctor, you can be a rickshaw puller, an entrepreneur, a tea seller, anything. But then what is the kind of human being that you want to become? What you want your child to become?
Correct.
What kind of human beings? And from the perspective of teachers as well, what do you want your students to be once they leave school? What they do is different from what they are.
Who they are.
Yes. So what you want to be is different from what you want to do.
But we have 4 P's as tips. I was writing it down and suddenly I realized that they were all starting with P, and it was have a positive attitude and positive words, have patience with your child and teach them patience also. I'm just looking at this and I'm so amazed. Support their potential. Support their unique potential rather than the role that you want them to have, talk about the potential that they are going to be as a human being. And the 4th thing was perseverance.